No, I'm okay. All right, so sending links to people. I should have a stream in existence. Maybe. Uh, so I had to wait 24 hours in order to be able to do that. For some reason, I had to wait 24 hours. I don't know why. Yeah, it's pretty much something like that, like the account's new. So, trying to figure out what in the world I'm doing, why I'm doing it, how is this happening, and what's going on. Let's see. I want to see what's going on with this. And here we go. Let's see, not made for kids. All the age restriction stuff again. The thumbnails there, saving. Okay, that's looking good. It says here I'm still streaming and I'm still doing some uploads. Yay, so.
Oh, you're actually streaming right now?
I should be, yes.
Can you cover the camera for 2 seconds?
Okay, let's see. Brief cover of the camera, because house guests, house people, other people that lived in this house wanted to pass by quickly where the camera is, because we have the set up. No, I'm not doing it again. You're going to have to be in the camera now, just like Kyoko, my cat. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to try and let other people know that the shit show is going on once again. The shit show number 5. Oh. Shit show number 4. Shit show number 4. Shit show number 4. You know, I really appreciate like being able to get a link to this before it actually then going live. That would be super. That apparently is not what's happening, and I have no idea how to make that happen. Let's see. There. And yes, I'm still going on. Yay, I still exist. Okay, so thank you for bearing with me. All right, so I've just gotten the new Path to Glory from the core book for Age of Sigmar, and I wanted to go ahead and make a Path to Glory group on this. It seemed like a great time to be able to do something live. I'm Nikki, and this is my channel, Raised by Valaya, and if you can kind of tell where my Path to Glory group's going to go, I actually have an entire epitaph. It is because I'm a trans woman. I like to say in the parlance of Age of Sigmar, forged by Grunyi, raised by Valaya. And primarily because, first of all, Valaya is an earth goddess. She's a home and caring goddess, and also, most importantly, she's a goddess of alcohol. And I've loved the brewing stories of the dwarves, the Dwarden, of Warhammer. And I've never really liked mountain dwarves at all. I always liked living above the ground dwarves, and so I think this is going to be kind of the direction I want to go with this force. So here we have, I actually made the Path of Glory sheet into an Excel spreadsheet for me to be able to fill in as I talk and I do the stream and hopefully interact with people, or not. That's fine too. But here we go. Player name, Nikki of the Coast. We've already talked about that. I want to definitely play Dispossessed. I want to be wholly in on Dispossessed. And so my faction's going to be the Cities of Sigmar. My sub-faction, I'm not quite sure yet. Now, give me a second real quick. I need to go get my Cities of Sigmar book. So, let's see. Not here. Is it? Yes, over here. Of course, I don't have any of the Broken Realms books right now, so I'm going to try to remember best I can. Settlers Games was okay, but it's entirely Lumineth based, and I don't have any Lumineth right now to be able to play with. Excelsis, maybe? Might be a sub-faction I'd want to play with. I could probably go with, what's the other one? Misthaven? I don't want to do Misthaven, although it can make a little bit of sense. I like the shenanigans you can get up to with Living City. It's just that I've actually played them a little bit, and I find that you got the one trick, which is the shoot and retreat thing, and or the shoot and charge thing. If in the case of myself, I like to play Stormcast Dracofs, but really that's kind of like the one time I get with it. If I'm going to take them into melee combat, then there's not really much more I can do. After I do it the one time, I just do the trick the one time, and that's it. Uh, Hammerhall could be something. I'm okay with that. Greywater Fastness, it's way too shooty for me. Like, I like melee dwarves. I don't like shooty dwarves, and whenever I get my Greywater Fastness boxes, I actually go and I make Iron Breakers. I don't like making Iron Drakes. And I've been actually thinking about what I'm going to do with this force. Uh, in, I guess, knowing that I'm not going to be like that. And I think I have a couple of plans with this, so I think this is going to be very interesting. So we're going to save the sub-faction for later. The realm, of course, tied to what sub-faction it is you have with Cities of Sigmar. Hi, my cat's trying to annoy me right now. Starting size, I actually wanted to be very, very small starting size, so I'm going to start out with 600 right now. So this is the information I'm getting this all at. It's the Age of Sigmar Core Book 3.0. And I've done a little bit of pre-scouting on this, so I kind of know what I'm doing right off the bat, but still, we can go ahead and kind of explore a couple of these things here. Narrative play. Let's see what we're dealing with. Choose a faction and realm. I don't quite have that done yet. Choose a starting size and territories. I do have a starting size. I do not have a territory yet. Let's see. The territories are the Old Keep, which can increase the heroes limit by 1. I'm actually okay with that. There's not a lot of heroes I think I want to use. The Wildlands, increase the monster limit by 1. I don't have any monsters I want to play with, the Cities of Sigmar. Forgotten Mind, increase the War Machines limit by 1. That will be fun, especially when playing with Dispossessed. Arcane Waypoint, increase the Wizard limit by 1. I don't even know if I can give them an Arcane Tome. They're dwarves. They don't use magic. Sacred Sight, increase the Priest limit by 1. Honestly, I'm okay with the 1 Rune Priest, if I get one. Small Settlement, increase the Reinforced units limit. I don't think I'm going to have much problem with that. And Ancient Roads, increase the Allied units limit by 1. That could be interesting, too. I like that. I don't like that. The War Machine and the Allied one actually worked out pretty good with me. I think I could enjoy that. Okay, so I don't know yet what territory I'm going to get. It's going to probably be more related to what type of slots. If I'm having slots that are a little bit less than what I need, I think I'm going to hold off on the territory for right now for that. So we're going to skip to step 3, called the Order of Battle. Now let me make sure a couple of things. Let's see. I'm a Vanguard size, starting size Vanguard. That puts my territories at 1, I get. My points are going to be maximum 600. Ah, here we go. Total units. What's that? Yeah, no, this is me having courage right now.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure you realize that you just outed yourself on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't know whether or not if even people can hear this conversation. My wife is telling me that I've outed myself on Facebook, and honestly, I'm okay with that right now. I'm in a position right now in my life where I'm trying to generate content for Age of Sigmar, and I have a lot of YouTube friends, and I have a lot of Facebook friends that can help me out. And I honestly think that probably a lot of the people that I'm most worried about seeing this from me aren't up right now, and probably won't see this also whenever they wake up because the Facebook algorithm will take it away. So we'll see. Huh? I could totally delete those.
Yeah, okay.
So, anyway, in case if I have surprise family or people that I wasn't sure about exposing myself as being trans. Hi! Again, forged by Grunyi, raised by Valaya. I'm going to have to do something a lot more about that, too. I had in my head a whole bunch of things I'm going to be talking about that was related to this, and now I'm just babbling. So, orders of battle. Total units I'm going to have as a vanguard is 6. And actually, I can take this Excel spreadsheet, and you know what? That was some stuff dropping. I work in the smallest area, right? So content creation is going to be great for me, hopefully, because it's going to help me get a better streaming area. So let's go with equals if this equals Vanguard, then 6. If not, who knows, because I'm not doing this right now. But in the future, let's see. Mistyped something here in Excel. I can expand this. And you know what? Honestly, this will be a great thing for me to offer people on Patreon if they need something like a little bit of an Excel automated uh, thing for doing Path to Glory. Way to go, me. That's something. All right, so back to the big book. We have unit limits are 6. Hero limit right now is 1. So we're going to go, let's see, we actually have the different types of things that can affect it. Aha, here we go. Starting hero units are 3 actually. So equals if starting territory, this is going to be probably here. Let's see, yes, because you can start at a maximum of 3. I'd have to be able to name each of these individually and then do if count if that. You know, I'll go ahead and I'll do that anyway then. If count if here to here, hold, keep equals 1, then 4, if not 3. There we go. So I only got 3 heroes right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy this, bring it down to the monster level. And now this one equals Wildlands. And that's going to equal 2. Oh, 2, if not 1. And then we're going to copy this one for the War Machines. C. B. The War Machines are the Forgotten Mine. Honestly, probably most likely I'm going to be picking this one, and I have a very valid reason why it's going to be this one that I'll get into in a little bit. Let's see. The Wizard. So if you were not expecting an Excel class happening right now, surprise, Excel. I'm probably one of the very few people that, I don't know, it's definitely not an erotic thing with me, but it's definitely something that I honestly use to pass the time. If you've ever watched Community, and I believe it was the 6th season that had this, there was actually a little French song about if only I could find someone that could use Excel. It's pretty cute. I'm going to need to see whether or not I can find that and link that sometime later. See, Sacred Site for Priests. if not one or two. Reinforced units, there's only one reinforced unit that's allowed. Okay, this is actually supposed to be merged, so I'm going to merge this one there. Control C, V, cancel, there. Small settlement. So, raised by Valaya, I always had this hope. And first of all, too, by the way, I love the fact that at the end of Broken Realms Be'lakor and at the end of Kragnos, we see Grunyi. And I've been wanting Grunyi to show up for a very long time. Well, not for a very long time comparative to Age of Sigmar. But the fact was just that since I like dwarves, I want Grunyi around because I will totally buy a Grunyi model. And Grunyi is not going to be necessarily the god for the Fire Slayers. That's Grunir. And certainly the Caradhran don't want to deal with anything with him, and he was fine to leave the Caradhran alone right now. So I was hoping at least we get an appearance by Grunyi, and that's going to signal something for the Dispossessed a little bit now. But that said, three dwarven factions between Dispossessed, Caradhran, and Fire Slayers. Grimnir belongs to the Fire Slayers. Most likely Grunyi wants to claim the Caradhran, but the Caradhran don't want to deal with him. But then that would just mean, okay, what about the Dispossessed? And honestly, why not Valaya? I'm actually very sad Valaya was not included in the setting, but maybe she'll make an appearance at some point, I hope. That's just me, though. Alright, so, all these things down. Let's take a look at what else we got. Starting glory points. Alright, I actually do start with some glory points. At 600 points, I'm at 5 glory. I'll put this sitting in the middle here. There we go. See, glory points are the currency of Path to Glory. That's fine. You'll find out more about earning and spending them on pages later on. I'm not at those pages. Order of battle. Next step is to determine your order of battle. The starting territories you pick will also have increased one or more of these limits. So I only get one territory because I am Vanguard sized. Warlord. You now begin to add units to the order of battle. The first unit you must add is your Warlord. I had a discussion with friends earlier today, and we were wondering, what about characters made on the Anvil of Apotheosis? Could those be used for Path of Glory right now? It's not expressly said in here, but honestly, why not? It's narrative. Who gives a fuck? That's at least my interpretation of it. You know, like, narrative is meant to be, who gives a fuck? You want some balance in it, but it's not going to be the most balanced in the world. It's always more points or guidelines for power, not strictly enforced, I guess. And you can remember this from looking at all those old War Scroll battalions from the Realm Gate Wars, and they were just all over the place with what you could do, and just some of them were impossible to do if you wanted to do match play back in Age of Sigmar 1.0. Just you could not do them at all because you would not be able to fit in the battle line units for the battle line tax or anything like that. So, you know, it's narrative play. Also, the missions. The missions were horribly imbalanced in narrative play too. Liquid Courage. Uh, the missions were horribly imbalanced, and there were some fun ones, and I tried to make a big database for them because, again, I love doing things on Excel, and it was just almost near impossible for me anyway to get a track of what they were, and honestly, it just never mattered. When we went to 2.0, all those old 1.0 missions really didn't do anything, but I liked some of them because they had some really cool effects. They could change the battlefield a lot, and they were kind of interesting, but they were never interesting enough to play unless you were willing to walk up to someone and say, hey, do you want to kick me in the face? Or will you let me kick you in the face? Because the battle's not set up for equal possibility of winning for everybody. And your armies cannot be set up for that as well. So maybe hopefully you can get something out of this with it. But anyway, Anvil of Hypothesis. Maybe it can be used here. Maybe it can't. It honestly doesn't matter to me. My Warlord. So I'm envisioning in my mind, I want above ground living dwarves. And I want to give you an example of this. I liked the idea of the Dwarven Rangers from Fantasy Battles, and I tried desperately to find a box of the Dwarf Rangers. I could never find it, so I decided to try and make my own. And this is the leader unit for a group of Rangers that I have. Let's see if we can get this guy good in the light. There we go. And so it's a box of hammerers I converted into, first of all, they all, instead of wielding two-handed hammers, wield two-handed axes. They're above ground. I wanted them fighting in forested areas, and so you're not going to smack a tree with a hammer. You're going to smack a tree with an axe. So they all carried two-handed axes. Let's see. Here's another one of them. See if I can get it better light. Oh, not quite. I have bad placement for everything. Bad lighting, bad everything. Hey, I have a Patreon. Help me get better lighting. So these are Dwarven Rangers I want to field. They're hammerers. So tell you what, even before I pick a Warlord who I think I know what I'm going to do with anyway, let's go ahead. Let's get in with the other units right now. So this is going to be Dwarven Rangers. I'll think of a fancy name for them later on in a bit. We're going to use the Hammerer's War Scroll. I don't know anything else that they're going to have with themselves right now. But we got the General's Handbook pitched battle profiles right here. And so we're going to find out how many points Hammerers are going to be right now. And Cities of Sigmar Hammerers. 10 of them are 145. Battle line of General is Dispossessed. Battle lines actually don't, as far as I know, matter right now in Path to Glory, because they'll never be able to honestly do that with 600 points. So anyway, they're 145 right now. So that's 145 out of my 600. Let's see what else I want to have. I like melee dwarves. I don't like shooty dwarves, but I need something to shoot with. So I have this handy dandy. Honestly, I'm going to use it as a gyrocopter. I like the possibility of recurring mortal wounds for gyrocopters in the movement space. They have a long gun. I know the steam gun would be helpful for hordes, but honestly, I got hammers. Who cares about that? Who cares about hordes when you got hammers? So I want some distance. The 20-inch gun on this one. So I'm going to give myself one gyrocopter, and that's going to be kind of my ranged attack. It's also a war machine, so that's going to be my one war machine slot. And this is kind of why I was thinking I wanted the old mine, because I could want a second war machine. I actually do have a second gyrocopter right here. But I'm going to do the one right now, and we're going to see where I'm at afterwards. So, gyrocopter. I don't have the name for them, but I want to make sure I give them a real name. I have no idea who I'm going to call this guy. Ballsy Copter Bomber, I don't know, but he's going to be right there. And gyrocopter, gyro bombers, actually, I want this to be a gyro bomber. That is 90 points. It is keyworded Duarden. It's not keyworded Dispossessed, but it is keyworded Duarden, which is very, very important to me. Otherwise, I'd get a steam tank. I love steam tanks. I hate the fact that I can't keyword a steam tank to being Duarden, unless I probably hit that on Anvil of Hypothesis. But not doing that right now. So, let's see. We have... I definitely want a hero that's a rune breaker. I don't know if I want a Warden King, and I don't know Rune Smith, and I don't know if I want my Rune Smith to be the Warlord or not. I feel like the Warden King should be the Warlord because he is the king. The Rune Priest is just a guy. He's a priest. Uh, let's go ahead and do a Warden King as my Warlord. I don't know anything else he's got right now, but the Warden King is, let's see, Rune Lord. There we go. Don't want a Rune Lord. Warden King, 100 points. I do want, though, a Rune Lord. So, I'll put them in my list right here. Please feel free to chat so I'm just not babbling to myself right now. Although, maybe that's entertaining, maybe it's not. And for those of you watching, thank you so much for joining me. My first live stream, and it was a 4-attempt shit show that eventually we finally got a chance to get to work. All right, so what am I looking at here in points now? My maximum is 600, and I can have 6 units. I've already got 4, so equals some. Oh, definitely don't want to do that. That's these, and down, let's see. Yeah, I'll only be able to have 6 units anyway. So I'm at 435 right now. I can have a unit of allies, and I think Caradron Overlords are allies, unless I want to be Tempest-Eye, in which case they become Coalition. We're not going to have Tempest-Eye people. Honestly, you know what? This would honestly be the best moment for me to buy something that I've been wanting to buy. Maybe get some Kurnoth Hunters. I have to go buy them. But I can't buy them. There'll be something I'll get in the future. But if I get Kurnoth Hunters, well, that could be an ally. That could be in Coalition. I could also do Caradron Overlords. What is my ally situation like with Cities of Sigmar? Daughters of Cain? No. Fire Slayers? Funny story. I was bemoaning how I love dwarves that are a certain way they behave. And they're the dwarves I always play in Dungeons and Dragons. I tend to play barbarian dwarves, feral, above ground, animalistic. And I remember I was thinking to myself one day, I said, oh, I don't like any of the dwarves available in terms of Dispossessed because I just want naked, melee dwarf barbarians going around slaughtering stuff. And then I realized, oh my god, that's Fire Slayers. But I don't like Fire Slayers. So I'm sitting here talking about, like, I want Fire Slayers, but I don't want to play Fire Slayers. And maybe I was just restricting myself too much on that one. But wasn't for me. I still wanted to make Dispossessed work. Anyway, but I could do a Fire Slayer ally then. Okay. Ideneth, no. Caradron, except in Tempest-Eye because it's Coalition. Sylvana, except in Living City or Greywater Fastness. I'm definitely not playing Greywater Fastness. I would love to honestly do the Sylvanas allies because I also want little spites. And I want spites for another project that I'm doing. I'm doing a side project of Viking-oriented Stormcast, which probably can work, honestly, with this group too, except that completely different kind of feel and color scheme to them. This unit of dwarves that I'm staring at in front of me right now, which, by the way, my Rune Lord. He's got a very, very bushy beard. I was using contrast paints with him, and I gave him a white beard in contrast. It was a Wraithbone base paint, and I used Apothecary White on it. And it just looks so fluffy with the Apothecary. Uh, just amazing. Just like, it's like a Santa beard. That was one of the best looking beards I've ever seen on a dwarf, I've ever done on a dwarf. I keep trying to give them Gore Grunta or orange beards whenever I do, and working with the contrast with that is one of the hardest things with me to be able to work with right now. All right, so ally units. If I beat Tempest Eye, which is always a good standby, I can bring KO, which would give me some shooty guys. I won't be able to have, well, I could have the extra war machine to buy myself a gun hauler. I would rather not want to do that though. All right. So I know what my starting territory is. It's going to be the Forgotten Mine. So, Forgotten Mine. It's a starting territory. I believe that's probably what it's called. Let's see. Yep. And so it's going to increase my war machines by 1. And I'm going to get myself another gyro bomber. Let's see, GYROBOMBR. There we go. So now I can do 2 war machines. Gyro bomber number 2, 525. I have 75 points left. And no idea what I'm going to spend it on. Carnoth Hunters are like 200. That's so much stuff I'm going to need. I can get a Cogsmith. You might honestly be useful. I could get an actual gyrocopter if I could have 3 war machines. I cannot have 3 war machines. I am sad. The Cogsmith may almost be worth it, just so that way I can have like, this could be like MASH. The Warden King, there's a Rune Lord, there's a mechanic, and he's always got to keep the 2 guys who are the fighter bomber guys who are going to be like a Top Gun equivalent, keep their planes in check, or I can just hold off on not spending the points. I don't know. Uh, Honestly, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's go with the Cogsmith. If I end up hating him, this is Path to Glory. I'll just have him go and die. I'll just have him go and give his life up for the copters. So 70 points. All right. And now I have my Path to Glory Order of Battle. So let's see. What am I missing here? Order of Battle. Got that. Got my Warlord. You can now begin to add units in your Order of Battle. The first thing you must add is your Warlord. The Warlord's the commander of your Path to Glory roster. It must be picked to be your general each time. So I'm always picking this Warden King. I maybe should have gotten a group of Iron Breakers too, just because. I cannot afford them, and I honestly would rather bring the 2 gyro bombers, I think. Let's see. Starting units. Did that. Battalions, endless spells, invocations. I could actually do one of the core battalions. Maybe. Let's see. I have a commander. Yeah, I can actually do that. Let's see. What am I going to pick? Core rules. General's Handbook. Here we go. I love that the new General's Handbook has the core rules in the back of them. So that way I don't have to lug around the giant 3.0 book when I'm going to be out playing. Let's see. Looking for the different battalions. I have a theory. So right now we have the General Handbook 2020, and it is based in Gur, and it's all about monsters, and we got the special rules in the core book for the monsters. I'm almost certain, because we have special monster rules going on right now, there'll probably be, before the next edition, a General's Handbook that's going to be taking place in the realm of Shaman, and that's going to be the War Machine land. And then I will be in heaven. War Machines tend to also mean dwarves are nearby. Any type of dwarf. Caradron, Chaos Dwarves, Dispossessed, less Fire Slayers. Still though, more dwarves, please. Oh my God! Have any one of you seen the new Stormcast helmets when they were starting revealing some of the new Stormcast with the Thunderstrike armor? And they all have little dwarf beards. They all look like Stormcast Caradron. And I was telling myself I wasn't going to try and get as much into the Stormcast, even though Stormcast is one of my normal armies. But now I have the possibility of little dwarven reforged Stormcast. And also, too, I guess if I wanted to be something that was kind of like queer, transgender related, get one of the female Stormcast body and put one of the dwarven beard heads on her, and then, bearded woman, trans man in process, either or, whichever way. Core battalions. So we have the Warlord Battalion, which is a commander, 2 sub-commanders, 1 troop. Got it! I could do that, and I could have the Strategist icon and the Magnificent icon. 1 extra enhancement and 1 extra command point. That's nice. Command Entourage. I'm actually going to go with the Warlord Core Battalion. I like that. I can be able to pull that one off. So, where would I list that on here? Core enhancements. Well, that's not it. Battalions here to begin with. You can choose 1 core battalion or war scroll battalion that your faction has access to, and 1 endless spell or invocation that your faction has access to. Note these down in your vault. Okay. This would be a unique enhancement. Nope, battalion. Here we go. Warlord. So I have plus 1 more enhancement. I don't have any faction terrain, which I was very sad about, but hopefully with the Dawnbringer Crusade, there will be a faction terrain with Cities of Sigmar once when that gets itself remade. One can only hope. Okay. Core enhancements. In Path to Glory, there are 2 types of enhancements, core and bonus enhancements. Core enhancements are enhancements normally granted by the core rules and your allegiance abilities. Okay. So, okay. Bonus enhancements, on the other hand, are additional enhancements you'll earn during your Path to Glory campaign. Alright? You need to choose your core enhancements. To do so, follow the core rules for enhancements. For each enhancement you give to a unit on your border of battle, note it down in the core enhancements section. Certain sub-factions and other allegiance abilities might grant you access to additional enhancements. The Greyfeared subfaction of Fire Slayers allow you to take 2 additional artifacts of power. In cases like this, you receive these extra enhancements as normal, and they are treated as core and not bonus. Okay, so all of those are that. Then I pick my first quest. Alright, so now I need to actually commit here. Does anyone want to help me out that's watching here? Go ahead and hit up the chat real quick while I'm debating inside my head. What city should I be? I'm torn between Tempest Eye and Living City. Unless I want to go for Excelsis. So I don't want to do Misthaven, and I don't want to do Settler's Gain. I need the Excelsis rules though, so that means now I need to go look into my handy dandy PDF of Be'lakor, not Be'lakor. I was disappointed actually that Broken Realms Be'lakor did not have rules for Vindicarum. We now have rules for a city in every realm except Shaiish, which I guess was supposed to be Lethis, and there was the Forbidden Power version of Lethis, which, God, I hated that so much. And when that came out, and Cities was coming out shortly after Forbidden Power, I was thinking Lethis was going to be the way that Cities of Sigmar was going to work. And it turned out not at all. Like, Lethis just operated completely differently from the rest of the Cities of Sigmar, which, you do you, Lethis, but no one played you. Anyway, so sure, Shaiish has a city if you count Lethis, and no one counts Lethis. But Shama does not have a city, and they had it in Vindicarum, and then Be'lakor destroyed it. But it's back up and standing. Nothing worse for wear. Let's see Excelsis' rules. What do I like about that one? I might just go for that anyway. At least in that way I can use the Witch Hunters too. Or get the Van Dens maybe. Let's see. Must be from Gur. Pick a friendly unit to shoot or fight. You can say that it's been prophesized on a 1. Subtract 1 from hit rolls on 2 through 6. Add 1 to hit rolls. That ain't bad. At start of combat, pick a friendly unit wholly within 12 of a hero. On modified save roll for an attack that targets at 6. They take 1 more wound. Interesting. General can retreat and charge. Add 1 to hit rolls. Okay. At the start of first battle round, pick D3 units, set them up again. Ooh. Okay. Darkest Secrets. At the start of the combat phase, pick an enemy hero. That hero cannot use. No one's ever going to use that. Glimmer Ring. Once per battle. I hate once per battle things. In your shooting phase, pick one enemy within 8 inches of the bearer. On a 3+, they take D3. And Griff Feather Charm. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks that target the bearer. Add 1 inch to the move characteristic. And I don't do spells. Now I think I'm back to Tempest Eye or Living City. Where is my Cities of Sigmar book? There it is. Okay. Let's see. Looking for them. Here we go. Let's do Hammerhall. Any reason I want to do Hammerhall? Banners held high. I only got 1 banner unit. No. Righteous Purpose. That could be interesting. Event Fire Strike I don't have. Here we go. Sylvaneth, Hunters in Hidden Path, Attuned to Nature. That's not going to help. Strike and Melt Away. No. Iron Oak, Artisan, Forest Strider. And this General's Wizard. Nope. Lure Leaves. Nope. Grey Water Fastness. Not getting near you. Phoenicium. I don't know. Be interesting. I could keep a Book of Grudges. That's another reason why I love the Dwarves. I played a lot of Total War Warhammer, and I just love the idea of the Book of Grudges. And I went and downloaded the old Fantasy Battles Book of Grudges, and I was kind of reading that, and I'm thinking, if I can find a way to get a nice little leather-bound Book of Grudges, that would be just perfect. And I'd write down every dwarf that dies, and I'd make sure to go and get revenge for them. And it was always something weird too. Like in the Fantasy Book of Grudges book, it was this guy died when some dude crushed him this way, and now I'm going to take 10 lives of some other race of people because that happened. It was so weird, and it was like it's never going to end then because every life of a dwarf lost required 10 deaths of something. And God forbid a dragon kills another dwarf. Oh, a dragon kills a dwarf? All right, we're going to kill 5 dragons now. Like, you're never going to end because this dragon's going to kill a dwarf like every time you fight one. There's always at least going to be probably one dead dwarf. Anyway, Let's see, treasures of the Phoenician. I would love to find ways to be able to get a bonus attack for my army. I like the hammerers, they get the mortal wound on the 6, and so if I can get ways to get extra bonus attacks with them, that would be great. I know the Warden King can do that, so the Warden King with the hammers is going to be awesome. Let's see. Tempest Eye. Add 3 inches to the move characteristic until first battle round. Add 1 to saves. That'll actually be useful. Add 1 to run rolls with friendly. Okay. Can include KO. Rapid redeployment. Add 1 to charge. 1 to rune rolls. Oh, missile weapons. All I'm going to have are the gyrocopters. Patrician's Helm. Seer Stone Amulet. And Zephyrite Banner. Yeah, this is looking like I'm just going to go Living City. Just because it's there. I think it's like the only thing I have that I can work with. So let's go with the Living City is going to be my subfaction. That means my realm of origin is Gyren. And now I'll have all my core things. So this is bonus artifacts, bonus, 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 bonus. Okay. I'll have to find some place where I can write down all my core stuff later. Oh, core enhancements notes. There we go. All right. Living City army must be from Gyran. The City of Wargroves. Okay. Hunters on the Hidden Path. Living City unit on the battlefield. So every unit is going to have hunters of the hidden paths. Actually, this might be some fun shenanigans then for using the gyro bombers. Except I don't think their movement can get them to a target and out of 3 inches of them. Just base, I think their base movement's 12. I'd need a way to be able to get their base movement up beyond that. Let's see. Veteran abilities, notes, whatever. Attune to nature. Heal 1 to each living unit. That'll help with the gyro bombers. The only ones that are not going to benefit from that are going to be the rangers. Let's see. Attune to nature. Let's see. B. All right. Let's see what else we got. Command ability. Strike, then melt away. You can use this command ability at the end of your shooting phase. Pick a living city unit that shot in that phase. It's 1 to 9 inches from enemy units and wholly within 18 of his hero. Okay. So we're going to go strike, then melt away. V, Control V. Command trait. Here we go. My Warlord, Iron Oak Artisan. Add 1 to save rolls. Add 1 to wound rolls. I think that helps him a lot. Forest Strider or Druid of the Everspring. I could make my my general maybe a half a wizard, a kind of wizard. Let's see. Warden King. So he'd be a 2-up save and a 2-up to wound. Honestly, I'll go ahead and I'll do that. Iron Oak Artisan. I want him to get in there in the mix of fighting. All right. The Relics of the Everspring. And I want to get one more enhancement on top of that. Spear of the Hunt. Pick one of the bearer's melee weapons, improve the rend by 1 of that weapon. The bearer fights at the start of the combat. They made a charge move. The bearer cannot fight again. Deepmire Cloak. Has wound characteristics of 6 or less while they're in cover. They cannot be chosen to be the target of a missile. Wardrop Horn. Once per battle, the bearer can sound the horn until the start of the next hero phase, and 1 to attack characteristics of melee weapons of Sylvaneth units. I don't have any Sylvaneth on me right now. What's the core ones? Because so far I'm liking Spear of the Hunt, but I don't even have a spear in the hands of my fancy dwarven Warden King. Let's see. I'm going to go with, let's see, what we got here for General's Handbook. Core rules. Keep forgetting, General's Handbook's better for core rules, honestly. Let's see. I'm going to do... Oh, universal command traits, too. Let's see. Reroll 1s. 5, add 1 to the wound. Okay, yeah, no, I like the command trait I have. Universal artifacts. Bearer has a ward of 5+. It's almost worth it just by itself. It's always better than almost anything else. Amulet of Destiny. Add 1 to Rune Walls. I don't need to worry about that. Bearer becomes a wizard, so I can actually make him a wizard if I want to. I can get 1 endless spell, then I'd have to pay for it. Give him Mystic Shield. It's already going to be a 2-up save. That's not going to work. But I can give that Mystic Shield to the Hammers. That might work. Seed of Rebirth. You can reroll Heroic Recovery. Nice. Oh, I can give him Flaming Weapon, though. Add 1 to the damage characteristic. Okay. You know what? Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my Warden King a wizard. I'm going to give him the... Or I can do it on the Rune Lord. He does have a book. So it would definitely match the model. I can give the Arcane Tome to him. And honestly, it'd be worth it, I think. I think it would be kind of interesting. So yeah, okay. We're going to give an Arcane Tome to the Rune Lord. And be sad if he dies. Arcane Tome. And then he's going to know, because of that, Mystic Shield, Arcane Bolt, and I think he gets a free spell to go off himself too. Let's see. Because I think that's part of the core, is that every wizard gets 1 free open, 1 free spell too. Let's see, core rules, narrative play. You can choose 1 core battalion, 1 endless spell, invocation, that your faction has access to. You don't need to add faction terrain, core enhancements, core and bonus, core normally granted by the core rules and your allegiance abilities. So yes, you will actually also get another spell too. So, what will he do? I think he just does what? Rend improvement? And defense improvement? Rune lore. Pick a friendly within 12, roll a die each time. Okay, gives a 6-up save. Improve Rend by 1. So yeah, no. Giving him also flaming weapon. Or is that just himself? That's just himself. He would never do that. Ghost Mist. Ghost Mist is a spell casting value. Pick a terrain feature within range. Until the next hero phase, visibility between 2 models is blocked. Ooh. Okay, I'll give him Ghost Mist. Arcane Tome with Arcane Bolt. Mystic Shield, and Ghost Mist. I'm going to go ahead and give the Amulet of Destiny as my second artifact because of my battalion to my Warden King. So now he's 2 up save and 5 feel no pain. Universal Prayer Scripture, he gets another prayer. Rune Lord, go Rune Lord. God, you're good. Guidance. You receive a command point. Your heal is a prayer that is an answer. Pick a friendly model within range. You can heal D3. Curse. Enemy unit within range, invisible to the caster. Unmodified hit roll for an attack. The target is a 6. They take a mortal wound in addition to any normal damage. Does that stack with the hammer's normal thing? Honestly, it's worth it just because. Let's go curse. And see, I get a triumph just because, and I only get access to it if the person I'm fighting against has using fewer points than me. I'm using more points than me. Once per battle, make a charge roll. Nope. Inspired. I think that's the only one really that's worth it. Add 1 to wound walls. Yeah, inspired. Okay, I think that's all my core enhancements. So let's go to the next step. So many things. Core enhancements, I've done those. Extra enhancements, I've done those. Pick your first quest. The last step is to pick a quest for your Path to Glory roster. A quest is the goal your warlord is currently trying to achieve, and you will be able to complete that quest by doing certain things in your battles. Once you have chosen your quest, write it down in the quest log on your Path to Glory roster. Let's see. Search for the artifact. Artifact that you have access to. Form warriors into a battalion. Hunt the Endless spell. Master magical lore. Oh yeah, that's right, I'm a wizard too, so I get... Oh wow. My Rune Lord's packing magic. Let's see. So, now that he's a wizard, he can get access to the wizard stuff here for Living City. You can choose or roll one of the following for each wizard. Life Surge, D6 Wound Heal, Cage of Thorns, deal some damage, Iron Oak Skin, subtract 1 from wound rolls that targets that unit. Also, none of these are any better than Mystic Shield. Alright, well, let's go with that. Ghost Mist and Iron Oak Skin. I would not be surprised if I'm actually doing this entirely wrong. If I'm doing this wrong, go ahead and say so in chat. Let's see. No one's watching me. That's okay. Was that you watching me?
I popped into it for a minute. I don't think it was me the whole time.
Okay. I've got someone that's been watching me for a very long time.
I mean, well, I have the tab open, but it's not playing.
Okay, well, it says here I have no more concurrent viewers now.
Okay, well, it's not me.
I got up to 3. Honestly, I'm okay with this. Seek deific blessing. I like that. Defend your realm. Learn ancient scriptures. Pick one prayer from a prayer scripture that your faction has access to that's not already on your Path to Glory roster. No. Scout fertile lands. I can believe that. I can believe I've been streaming for an hour. Honestly, this is good for me, I think. 2 exploration roles in the aftermath for scouting fertile lands. I'm going to do that one. Scout fertile lands. I do not understand what I'm supposed to do with it, but we'll find out. So, scout fertile lands. Let's see. Anything else about that? Oh, earn reward, quest progress. The quest will detail what rewards you earn. This can be anything. The vault. Okay. So I get to make 2 exploration rolls. Once you've completed your roster, you're ready to begin fighting in battles. Tiers of battles, bonus enhancements, command traits, bonus spells, picking your army, finding an opponent. The aftermath sequence. Gain renown points. Veteran abilities. Okay. So I believe this is it for me, unless there's something about my stronghold I need to worry about. Let's see. Here we go. In addition to your starting territories, you begin your campaign with a stronghold. Your stronghold gives you the following benefits. Territories, barracks, outposts. As your campaign progresses, you'll have the chance to upgrade your stronghold to an imposing stronghold, and then a mighty stronghold. So I don't have any of those things. I'm just a stronghold. It has a name, though. I can give it a name if I want to. Uh, type, nope, nope. No achievements, barracks, 0. So it has a name. I'll figure that out in a bit. And this is my Path to Glory roster. Well, thank you, anyone who's joined me for coming to see this. Probably the best thing you could see from it is I have my little Excel spreadsheet that, I'm willing to share. If you sign up for my Patreon, I'll probably make that open to my $5 donors, my $4 donors, one of them. And yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Hope you keep watching, and I appreciate